Welcome to the Dunedin Stories, Georgina. Oh, hang on a minute. I'm on the wrong side. The floor is yours.
Thanks, Bex. Welcome to Dunedin Stories.
Who'd have thought?
This is great.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, love to. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what brought you here.
Okay, so there is a very long story, and I am very aware of the time limit for Dunedin Stories. So the short version, a 1976 model, born here in Ōtepoti Dunedin, grew up in Brockville and Pine Hill, bit of stomping ground up there, D&I as my intermediate, Logan Park, and a wee stint at Highcliffe High School, which some people in Dunedin will be familiar with.
Yes.
Back to Logan Park, a year at University of Otago, big fail except for women's studies. And then I ended up finding myself working in technology. Teaching youth how to use computers was the first real job. And then very lucky to be working with an incredible man called Brian Morton, who owned Computerland at the time. Yep. Key client, Motor Trade Finance, who were looking to move from paper-based finance system to online.
Wow.
Great timing, 2001-ish, and I really cut my teeth on technology projects and understanding that at the very heart of that is people and how you guide them along that change process. How did I end up sitting here? Well, what is it? It's 2025, so for 16 years I have been a part of Firebrand, which is a marketing agency that you're familiar with here in Dunedin.
Just a little.
You've just turned over your 13-year anniversary. And it's an awesome organisation that for 16 years has been involved in all the different ways and means of branding, marketing, technology, social media and change-making projects for businesses and community groups of all shapes and sizes. We've had the great pleasure of working with government on youth programs. We've had the great pleasure of working with really big e-com stores and being able to develop custom-made platforms for that purpose. And alongside of that, I found myself at board tables and a part of advisory committees that really helped shape the business environment, I suppose, of Dunedin.
Yep. And I know you well, and I know that that's what fills your cup.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. I love being a part of something that's going to benefit more than just a couple or a few. There does need to be that greater good element to the things that I really enjoy. Not to say that I don't enjoy BAU as well, but mostly it's got to be change making.
Yep. Well, you are a purple dot.
I am a purple dot, and I've got my purple dress on today to match that.
Yeah.
So that's the short version. Lots of stories in between there. But,
and MTF is where you met Paul.
It is where I met my second husband. There's a little bit of a sordid story there. But yes, my husband Paul, and we have two beautiful children who are basically young adults now. They're not really kids, I suppose, 15 and 17. And I've just loved watching them become, the mini humans that they are. I like to argue about nature versus nurture because they're wonderful people.
Yeah, they're wonderful. Yeah. So Bex, 2025 is your council campaign. What has brought you to this moment of I'm going to do this, I'm going to run for council?
Well, the short answer is you brought me here. That would be a very big part of that, the answer. I've run campaigns a lot over many years and I had insight into what running a campaign was like, and our dearly departed Mayor Dave Cull asked me a number of times if I'd consider it, and it was always a hell no. Then 2023, 2024 for owning a business and running a business in Ōtepoti Dunedin, it was hard. It was really hard, as you well know.
Yeah.
And I look to shore up what that meant for us long term, because that is what I do. I do scan for threats and then look to identify solutions to that. Found this wonderful wee design agency for sale in Rangiora in Christchurch, and went well down the track of looking to buy that and incorporate it into Firebrand. It would have been renamed eventually. It would have been able to offer similar services to what Firebrand does, because it purely was a design and print shop. And then as we got closer and closer to that crunch time of ultimate decision, and sitting with you and Paul, our directors of Firebrand, the reality was that you can't take Bex out of Dunedin.
No.
And you'll never take Dunedin out of Bex. And so when that decision was made, you banged your fist down on the table, quite literally, and said, excellent decision. When are you running for council?
I did indeed.
You did?
Yeah.
Timing-wise, and I do believe in the universe, I'm a bit of a karma believer, that same week after you said that, I got this random message in my LinkedIn inbox from somebody called Andrew Sims.
Andrew Sims.
Mystery man.
Yeah.
Wanting to meet and talk about his interest in running for mayor in 2025. So this must have been August, September 2024. And so I thought, interesting little moment there, aligning with what you had said. And so I had a cup of coffee with Andrew, had a half hour booked, thought I'd entertain what he had to say. Thought, we might end up running his campaign like we did for Dave if he was a suitable mayoral candidate. 2.5 hours later, I found myself still sitting there with Andrew, and knowing that we could have sat there for another 5 or 10 hours talking about all of the skills, expertise, experience, insight and passion and energy that we both had. But when you brought that together, you could really feel that it was something that was going to bring about change. So I then set to having about 85 coffees with my most trusted, close and perhaps not so close advisors, mentors, contacts in town. Mostly they all said the same thing. Well, of course you're going to run for council. Yep. It was always something you were going to do. It was just me that never really accepted that, I suppose, before. Yeah. And near the end of that year, we sat down and thought, right, we're going to do this. Yeah.
So it was just gelled, it was natural.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was always going to need to be a next step. You've been the managing director of Firebrand for 3 years. And with us for 13, and you do a much better job than I ever did.
I don't think that's true.
I truly believe that we're very different people, and our clients and our projects and our team need what you offer more so than what I do now. We're 13 years in with you, or 16 years with the business.
Age and stage. And growing in your professional
in my own
career. In your own way. Yeah. So Bex, what's the biggest issue facing Dunedin right now, and how do you think that you could address that?
Well, I think there's a bunch of really big challenges and issues that the city is facing. But having been out and about and meeting with and talking to and listening to a lot of people in the last 8-9 months, there really is this confidence and trust element that's missing from our community. There's a level of confidence that a city needs to have to be able to attract more people to move here. There's a level of trust that's needed that the people that are leading the city are doing it in the right way with integrity. And, it doesn't mean that the city needs to know everything that's going on, but when they don't know anything or they're given half-truths, they fill that in. So I think creating confidence in the city council, which will then move to trust, is probably the biggest challenge that our city has. And the consequences are, they move on.
Yeah. How do you define leadership, and what's your leadership style?
I've had a few mantras as I've developed my leadership style. One very early on was that I'd never ask somebody to do something that I wasn't prepared to do myself. And, facing up and fronting up to apologise for mistakes that you've made, or cleaning a bathroom that's been, destroyed by somebody.
Delivering the
coffees and, pulling an all-nighter because something hasn't worked out the way that we expected. So, that very much is a leadership style of mine, not asking somebody to do something that I wouldn't do myself. I'm very much a raiser-upper of others. I'm absolutely committed in all of my background to employing people that I think are better than me. And this is a little bit to do with the imposter syndrome and how I don't, think I'm the most amazing person, so therefore I need to surround myself with other people. And, so that would be how I would describe my leadership style.
Yep, I'd add empowering others as well. You're really, really great at empowering others.
Thank you.
And making them feel that they can do things that they didn't believe they could do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to have a belief in yourself.
Oh, absolutely.
As well, don't you?
Yeah. That's very true. What's one thing you'd like to change about the current council?
Yeah, it's a real big one. And, it's not going to happen overnight, but there is a fear and control feeling around the culture. Right from that table, there seems to be a fear to say and do the right thing by the city council laws, and then the city. So, Andrew and I have spoken about this at length, really, about how you would approach resetting the culture within all of those elements. And
a huge task.
It is a huge task, but it's also, it's pretty well documented what that's going to take. And if we are successful in this endeavour and Andrew becomes our mayor and there's a few future Dunedin candidates that are successful as councillors, the first thing we want to do is really focus on the culture of that team. Yeah. So, that would be the answer to that one for me.
Yeah. And the question that everybody asks, parking. What are you going to do about the parking, Bex?
Oh, how do we talk about Dunedin as a location without considering the parking? I'm one of those people that always says, I've never had a problem getting a park.
I've never had a problem getting a park.
There is a expectation because of our size and our geography, and we've got a little more destination shopping now, I suppose, with Mosgiel as growing as rapidly as it is. But we've got the centre city town, and there's an expectation that you're going to be able to park within 3 blocks of wherever you want to be. Look, new hospital build, I get new hospital build needs to have parking, particularly for the staff. There's 24-hour shifts.
Safety issues around that.
Safety issues, 100%. And then mobility issues. People that are going to the hospital generally are people that aren't feeling great, or they're visiting people that aren't feeling great. So, look, I think there's lots of technology that could be implemented, and I think the city has been thinking about that. There may even be some elements of that in the long-term plan to make parking a little bit more innovative. I do believe that St Clair needs to have parking turnover happening. It is difficult to run a business when people can't come to your premises easily, and the same can be said for town. I don't think parking should be necessarily a money-making endeavour for the city, but there needs to be time limits.
Yeah, absolutely. How would you balance business growth with sustainability in Dunedin?
Yeah, so business growth and sustainability aren't actually opposites. They are, or they should be, able to live in conjunction with each other. Smart, future-focused business growth is sustainable. It's not fly-by-night, make-believe, widget creation that you sell on Amazon for $1 and sell 1 billion and then move on to your next thing. Sustainable business growth for Dunedin is investing in those industries and people and organisations that truly have a long-term vision and offer jobs, great culture, and the Dunedin City Council can really play a role in supporting that, freeing up land, identifying ways and means of supporting our startup industry more so than we do already, and offering ways and means to keep our students here instead of coming, studying and then leaving, taking themselves, their physical bodies, but also their smarts and everything they've learnt from being here and learning with us to another place and that place having the benefit.
Yeah, agree. Yeah, we need to keep them here.
We do.
Yeah, so important. So I'm asking a lot of big questions and bigger than parking. Why would Dunedin residents vote for you, Bex?
Well, I am a deeply Dunedin person, and the real world experience that I have of 16 years owning a business and supporting businesses, charities, not-for-profits and organisations of all shapes and sizes in their strategy to be here, whether that's starting a business, building businesses, growing outside of Dunedin or internationally. I think that brings incredible insight into both how hard it can be and how easy it should be.
Yeah.
I think I am somebody that is never afraid of getting out into the community and listening and taking on board what people need, desire and crave from the city. And although I'm a 1976 model, I still have the significant empathy and understanding for our young people and how they need joy and they need hope from their environment and their city. And I think seeing people like myself at that table can create that, as well as afford me the opportunity to support that.
Yeah. I love that.
There's a lot of words in there.
Oh, that's great. So that was the political stuff. Let's talk about some fun stuff.
The person rather than the politics.
Next, the person. What's your coffee order?
Well, it's a short black. It's bold, it's quick, and it's over very quickly, kind of like how I like meetings. Which is probably not what I'm going to get when I'm sitting at the council table.
No, it's not. It's not
I
going to be quick.
might have to change my coffee order. I'll need an IV.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you were to have dinner with anybody historical, who would that be? Who's your dinner date?
Well, I put a lot of thought into this, and there was so many on the list. And she's not dead, so she's not really historical yet. She's probably been described as hysterical instead of historical. But Cyndi Lauper. Cyndi Lauper. I've seen her twice in concert. She's just the most real, authentic, creative, down-to-earth, accepting, inclusive person. I love her music. I love her wah. I would just love to sit down and have dinner and, I don't know, really understand if she has any tips and tricks on how to just live so authentically. Yeah.
And you covered a few Cyndi Lauper songs along the way, haven't you?
Ah, yes, in the time when Paul and I were in bands, definitely. Cyndi Lauper was on the list. Fun times.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're the singer, Paul's the drummer.
Yes, although he's multi-talented. He can sing as well and play the guitar. Yeah.
So what's your hidden talent? So you've sung in a band.
I have.
You're brilliant on karaoke. No one else can get the microphone. I can tell you that.
I think that's more
Is that the talent?
I think that's being more about like a only child kind of that doesn't want to hand the microphone over.
I'm not sharing my toys.
Hidden talent, so something people don't know about me perhaps. I was a private investigator-ish type person at one point, worked for Wayne Idor and used to take photos of cheating husbands and wives at the botanical gardens.
Wow.
I do play the guitar, self-taught, don't know any of I don't have the ability to read music or anything like that. But yeah, write very sad country songs is something that I have a bit of a hidden talent for.
Yeah. What's the most Dunedin thing about you?
Ōtepoti Dunedin. So my Dunedin ring, which never comes off me, assures that I always have Dunedin with me. I have a wardrobe full of Dunedin designers, of which there's a little bit of sadness because most of those designers have since closed up shop or moved on. We touched on the band before. I've played at, I've done a gig at the Crown. I've done lots of gigs at Brimstone.
Oh, wow.
I've done gigs at the Bog and the Commercial Tavern. So that would probably be the thing that speaks to me most about being Dunedin. Is those connections that way.
What's your favourite Dunedin restaurant? Where does Bex like to go and eat?
Yeah, I love Long Dog in St Clair, but that's purely because they know how to cook halloumi. I'm a big halloumi fan. But if it was somewhere fancy and, money wasn't an issue, can't go past Prohibition, got to have the salmon wings.
Yeah.
And
delicious.
Yeah, absolutely. Big fan of just the random, beautiful, authentic cuisines that we've got down George Street as well.
We're so lucky.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, we are. If you weren't running for council, what do you think you'd be doing instead?
Well, I think I would be leaning into what I love to do. So community projects, looking to other governance roles, perhaps starting or buying another business. And let's be honest, I'd probably be doing all of those things at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely.
This, though, it's a lot. It has blown my socks off just how big an epic effort it is to get there. So the campaigning piece, no pressure, we own the marketing agency that's responsible for doing this. So as well as it's for you as well. So that reputation of your organisation, the people that you are alongside of and yourself. So lots of pressure.
And official campaigning doesn't start till the 11th of August.
Yeah.
What can we expect from you? Is there any
I've had people
marketing tips and tricks in the background?
Well, I've already had people say, "Oh, Bex, you're everywhere. I can't go anywhere without seeing your face." And I'm like, "Jeez, you just wait," because we actually haven't yet really started telling the community who we are and what we do and how we do it. We're going to be where the community need us to be, instead of having them just come to a public meeting that's held at a school hall. We are going to have a physical premises. We are going to be offering a myriad of other ways and means for people to meet with us, learn from us, and connect. Yeah, so... But I did have a real firm bottom line that you will not see my face on the back of a bus.
Not that I haven't tried.
I know.
For years
now.
not
happening. There is no Bex on a bus.
That's fair. We don't need to put you on a bus. We can put you on a billboard.
Yes, I can
Much
go on
bigger.
a billboard, but I just couldn't do it.
What's one thing in this whole process that you've found the hardest so far? We're not even at the real campaigning moment.
Yeah, I mean, because we started so early, or I started so early with getting out there and telling people that I was going to be running for council, it did mean that very early on I experienced a large amount of toxic people commenting on social media about me and, the way I looked or my values. They questioned whether I was actually intelligent enough to be running in a campaign like this. They questioned my, I don't know, I'm a bit strange, so therefore I must be woke, which I own that word. I think it means that I have high awareness and a caring nature towards people of all shapes and sizes. And owning that space has probably been one of the hardest things to do online because it's been so public.
Yeah.
And I've always had a public personality and a public persona, I suppose, because we're in marketing. But this, I needed to really find a place where I was at peace with being called these things, because perhaps for some people that is. I'm weird, I'm scary, I don't look like them, and therefore they're not going to vote for me, and that's okay. Because not everybody votes for the same person. That's called democracy.
Exactly.
So finding peace with that.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. And I think you've done really well navigating that and having that on your phone and your Facebook and your day-to-day life of these comments.
Yeah, I suppose the other thing I'd add to that actually is I now have an internal body clock that wakes me up at 2:30 in the morning. So I read the ODT to understand what's going on in the world the next day, or that day.
What
but
time
the
is
next
it
day.
published?
It can be published anywhere from 1:30 in the morning onwards. So shout out to the ODT, thank you.
Yeah.
But I perimenopausal as well. I'm 48 years old, so I wake up, have a wee read, digest it a little bit, go back to bed, fall straight back to sleep, wake up in the morning, and often my brain has gone on its own wee journey and come up with some solutions or things to some of the things I might have read. So, yeah.
What's a book, TV show, movie that's influenced your thinking?
I'm a big reader / audiobook listener. I don't think that's still classed.
I don't know if you have the time to read.
No. And is it still a reader if you listen to it? I'm confused. And I watch a lot of crime documentaries. But the answer to that question is it's not going to be Jacinda Ardern's most recent autobiography, I promise, although I have listened to that twice and I found that really inspiring. But it's a book by another amazing female writer, Glennon Doyle, and it's called Untamed. And you need to read it, Georgina, if you haven't already. And the reason why I say that that's the answer is it's taught me to just accept that I am different. My voice is my voice, and I need to use it. It's powerful for others, and it's my power. It's my secret source.
Yeah.
And particularly when it comes into this political world, I do need to find peace that I might not get in, because I might not be what the majority of people are looking for. But as long as I'm authentic to who I am between now and then that is where I'm gonna find that peace. I've said the word peace like 4 times because it is I am untamed and I need to own that.
Yeah. So tell us, what do you do to relax? There's all this noise, it's busy, you're herding cats, you've got teenagers, you've got dogs, you've got a husband, you've got a business, you're running a campaign. When do you have a moment just to relax and unwind?
Well, look, I'll be honest, it's not a frequent thing that I am relaxing or doing nothing. I think there's people talk about being an active relaxer, and I never really thought of myself as an active relaxer because that springs to mind people like my husband who plays basketball and is always chasing a ball somewhere or doing something to the house, and that's active relaxing for me. But on I go to a dog park every day with my 2 huskies that I actually think another universe moment was the gift of this. They have an extraordinary amount of energy, and unfortunately they're not allowed to be out in public at the moment. So I take them to a private
naughty
dog
puppies.
park. Yes, naughty puppies, only for another year. And it's a really good thing for me. I've never done that purposely, had something in the calendar every day that's not work or related to taking care of the family. Kind of is, they're my dogs, but it seems like it's a lot more personal to me.
And is that when you listen to your podcasts?
Sometimes, yeah, sometimes. Sometimes it's phone calls, of course, but often in the last few months, for sure, I have left the phone in the car and just walked around with my dogs for an hour. And I know lots of people do meditation and things, and they talk about clearing your brain. I find that really, really hard. Yeah. So it is something I've been trying to do as I walk around Paddock Park.
Paddock Park.
Shout out to Paddock Park. Thank you to Denise and Flick for offering such an incredible place.
Election night results, if you get in, which you will. I know it. I've got faith in this. What are you going to do?
Well, you hadn't prepared me for this question. And the first thing that springs to mind is I'm going to get on the microphone and I'm going to sing
Cyndi Lauper,
I Will Survive by Gloria Gaynor. Because I really am terrified about what this looks like, but it's in a really good, positive way. So terrified to me is not a really bad word. It's not got bad connotations. I'm so excited. And if I get on there, get a mandate from the city that they do support and they want somebody like me to represent them, then let's bring this on.
Yeah.
And you know what, even better? Please, if you don't vote for me, at least vote for Andrew Sims. I believe and I know that man is the mayor that Ōtepoti Dunedin needs. And I'd love to be there with him at that table, but I worry greatly about what will the next 3 years look like without Andrew as our mayor.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, we need to vote for Andrew.
We do. After singing I Will Survive by Gloria Gaynor, I'm likely to have a glass of Sav or 2, and I'm probably likely to start crying because there'll be this overwhelming sense of emotion
and relief.
And there'll be so many hugs because I'm such a hugger, and that will carry on for weeks because I'll walk around the city and I'll just randomly hug people maybe.
Well, thanks, Bex. Thanks for joining me on Dunedin Stories. Being awkward.
That's okay, because I do look forward to sitting on that side again as well. I think I mentioned recently actually online when I posted the most recent one of these, one of the last things I will give up if I am successful is hosting the Dunedin Stories. Yeah, I love hearing people's stories, and I have really enjoyed learning how to do that host role, and thanks.
And you do it well.
Thank you.